Like, sub, share, speak. All right, guys, we got this story coming to us from the Clown Tabloid. I like to call it Asbury Park Press. Well, it's actually called the Asbury Park Press, APP, but I like to call them a Clown Tabloid more than an actual news outlet because they definitely push a very far left, quote unquote, progressive agenda. Let's get into this one because this is a little hilarious when you really break down the details of it. Lakewood school parents say they're fed up, want answers from school board. This is written by Gustavo Martinez for APP. Tensions flare following Lakewood school board meeting. Community leader Alejandra Morales expresses frustration after a fellow community member was unable to speak during a Lakewood school board meeting. Lakewood school district parents saying they are fed up with school leaders are demanding answers. Whoo. They will get their chance at a special Board of Education meeting scheduled for 7:30 p.m. Thursday at the Lakewood Early Childhood Center, 721 Ridge Avenue. Doors will open at 6 p.m. For many, the meeting just ahead of the new school year will be an overdue chance to air grievances on matters ranging from school busing to teaching qualifications. In interviews, many parents told the press that they had planned to engage board members on those issues last week but were rebuffed. Dozens of parents turned out for Wednesday's school board meeting. Some had barely taken their seats when the board voted to adjourn 20 minutes into the meeting. See the photo gallery below of the meeting. This is the photos. Oh my goodness. So many different parents and abuelitas. Okay. The board has no interest and shows no respect for us, Norma Morales, mother of two Lakewood school students, said in Spanish. I feel very disappointed for how disrespectful they are, for how they treat us. The parents told the press that they showed up en masse seeking answers about busing services for their children, teacher credentials, and certifications, among other matters. Instead, they found an increased police presence and no opportunity to ask questions. The parents seeking answers were overwhelmingly Latino, reflecting the makeup of the public school district's population. Among those complaints, a lack of representation on the board. They contend their demands are frequently ignored despite the presence of two Latinos on the board, Ada Gonzalez and Herberito Rodriguez. The board has 9 members, 2 out of 9. Honestly, I don't know the demographic makeups, but I'm one for, equality of opportunity as opposed to, equality of outcome. Let the chips fall where they may. So right now, two out of 9 of the board members are Latino. They can say they're Latinos and understand us, but their words don't translate into actions. They always vote with the majority of the board instead of fighting for us, which is so damn vague because one thing that I've learned in politics is that, people have their reasons, some of them actually steeped in genuine concern, or some of them completely aligned with special interest, but everyone has their reasons for voting in whatever manner that they do. Alejandro Morales, a community activist, told the press in Spanish, "None of us can sit there because we're undocumented, and that's why they treat us the way they do." Yeah! Okay, so what are you? Okay, all right, here's the deal, guys. I'm an outlaw, all right, not a criminal. I don't have a record. When I feel like the difference between an outlaw and a criminal is that an outlaw respects the law enough to avoid it, whereas criminals are either conditioned or institutionalized into just embracing criminality. Outlaws, we're a bit different. Ma'am, this is like being in the middle of a bank robbery and opening a checking account. This is not... Right, you don't have no say because you're not even here legally. If I were Lakewood, I would definitely have ICE sitting outside of that facility. Like, yeah, how hard you really want to fight for it? Look, whatever your circumstances are, they're your circumstances, and I respect it. My problem is that you don't get a say. I'm sorry, if you are here illegally, you or quote unquote undocumented, no, you have no right to a say. And honestly, why are you even here? Why do you feel bold enough to like, well, because New Jersey declared itself a sanctuary state. This all folds back onto Murphy. When the state decided to declare itself a sanctuary state, oh, everybody came out the world. Oh, we making all these different demands. You have no leg to stand on if you are here illegally. I'm sorry. And honestly, I personally don't want to see anybody deported because I really am not a fan of, ripping apart families. But I do respect the rule of law, and in that respect, yeah, bro, sit down, be quiet, don't say nothing. Like it's like the WNBA crying about equal pay when they're not, when your company loses money. So just be quiet and be grateful that we ain't tripping on you, we ain't spazzing on you. But no, what you guys are like, oh yeah, we want to sit here and they're not fighting for us even though we have literally no right to be here. Like, I'm telling you, if I was Lakewood, I'd be like, yo, okay, bet. We're going to have a special meeting, and ICE going to be sitting right on outside. So how much do you really want it, all right? And one of the things that really irritates the hell out of me is the sob stories. You have all these people like, oh, my goodness, they have all these sob stories. And when you think undocumented, you're supposed to think of that big-eyed Dory Explorer-looking kid. When in reality, a lot of it is just people who want to, want to ride the wave as opposed to, like actually getting in line and doing it the proper way, which I'll happily admit is a very tough process. But if it means that much to you, you'll go through the process. These people, they jump the line, and now you want to sit here and be like, oh, well, our children aren't getting, like, we're not properly represented. There are 2 Latinos on the board, okay? No one's sitting here arresting you, Miss Morales. I mean, honestly, you should be sent right on back to wherever you're from if you're here undocumented, without question. Not sitting here crying because, oh, you feel as you're feeling some kind of way about the school systems that you're undocumented. If you do pay into, because there's a lot of back and forth on who pays what kind of taxes where, even though I know this is a free range tax farm, so everybody pays taxes, make no mistake. But yeah, that's ridiculous. That is just the epitome of bold, and it's one of the main frustrations that I have, because dude, as an outlaw, I respect the law enough to avoid it. So thusly, if I'm, slanging my drugs, when I will have you, I'm not going to sit there and walk up to a police officer and say, hey, you got change for a 20? Like, nah, man, that's not how you do that. Board member Gonzalez told the press she understands how the parents feel and acknowledged miscommunication has affected the parents' views. There's a lot of confusion because when they come to the meeting, when we explain things, we're not explaining our answers in detail so that they understand. I think that's what the conflict is. No, what the conflict is that they're here illegally and they really have no right to be at the meeting. Their children have no right to be in the school, if you want to be all technical about it. Now, I'm all for giving people passes because, hey, rules are just arbitrary things, but they're still there and they exist for a very good reason. She said, and I understand because people look up to us for answers, and we look bad because they see we have no idea of what's going on with them, and they ask, what are you doing there then? Gonzalez said that she will make sure that on Thursday parents are told where to sign and get time to address the board. I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen again, she said. They're the reason we are there. We're there for them. No, you're there for your American constituents, for the American children in these schools. Not Rodriguez cannot immediately be reached for comment. The most recent New Jersey school performance for Lakewood shows that in 2017 to 2018, 86.1% of the school district's students were Hispanic. Many of them are the children of undocumented immigrants. Under state law, anybody aspiring to become a school board member must be a U.S. citizen. At least 5 Lakewood police officers and 4 school security guards attended Wednesday's meeting. The added police were on hand because the Facebook page Rise Up Ocean County posted a call to its 14,554 followers, urging them to show up and demand the resignation of the board's attorney and spokesperson, Michael, who compared his social media critics to the Third Reich in a recent press interview. But nobody explained the increased police and security presence to parents. And did it need to be written in Espanol? Many parents said the added security made entering the building difficult. They were asked for a photo ID and subjected to searches at the door. Some said they were hassled when they showed up their consular identification or Mexican voting registration card. Well, that's because it's Mexico. Oh my goodness. Like I said, if I was Lakewood, like ICE would be sitting right there. Like, yeah, come on in. New Jersey immigrants without legal status often rely on documents of their native countries as identification since they cannot get state identifications or driver's licenses. So basically, they need to. See, that's the thing. I don't want to be redundant in the video, but yeah, there's for a good reason. You're not here legally. You are in the process of committing a crime as we speak. Like, yet, I mean, y'all want to sit there and like explain it to them how, why you voted the way you voted. Explain to them why they're here illegally and why they literally have no right to these complaints. Nobody identifying themselves as representing Rise Up Ocean County showed up. By the start of the meeting, only one person had signed up to speak during the public comment period, but the name on the list was misread and the public comment period was closed when nobody responded to the call. The board members approved the agenda with no discussion and left immediately after the meeting was adjourned. That guy had already left but returned to the meeting room after being confronted by a group of about 50 angry parents led by Morales, the community activist. He met with the group for nearly an hour and a half, discussing a range of issues, including the parents' frustration over communication and being left out of the decision-making. Because you have no right to the decision-making. I'm sorry. You're in the middle of committing a crime. Golly, it's like you robbing the bank. You go to the bank manager. I think we should put all of our money into CBD oil. Like, bruh, you in the middle of robbing his bank. What are you doing? It was during this session that guy disclosed that the district had struck a deal to provide busing for all of the district students when school starts Friday. Morales and the other parents questioned why he didn't share such important news with them at the meeting earlier. I was told to be quiet tonight, he replied. This just made the parents more upset because why are you even talking? Like, honestly, why even bother? They pressed for and were promised the opportunity to address the board Thursday. We leave happy because we have transportation for our children, but this is not over because the board hides information we should know. No, you're hiding information that you're hiding where you should be right now, bruh. Jesus, said Enrique Hernandez, father of 4 Lakewood school students. We will come back at the Thursday meeting with plenty of questions because we care about our children's education. And you should care about them back in Mexico or wherever the heck you come from, family. Like, this is the most frustrating and saddening thing. Because, and let me tell you why it infuriates me for the most part, is because I am from here. I am from the streets. I am from Irvington, Newark, East Orange, Essex County, New Jersey, where like they are building monuments to criminal justice and law enforcement. All right. Like, and you sit here, like I've seen so many people go down on different charges for different reasons, just get locked up for absolutely nothing. Yet you have people actively breaking the law now sitting here demanding stuff from those who really owe them nothing. Like, this is disrespectful as hell. And this is part of the reason why Murphy is going to be a one-termer, man. Like, Murphy is only in here for one term. This is bonkers. And this is why you have people switching to the Republican Party. That guy that I did the video on, Mark Rizzoli, he's now a Republican because this is out of control. And like I said in the beginning of the video, it's not that I have a problem with any of these people being here. It really isn't. I would prefer you to be here legally. But if you're not going to be here legally, then be quiet. Then don't sit here and be like, oh my goodness, well, my rights are, what rights? Ain't got no rights I ever heard of. I'm just saying. So I wanted to cover this because this is insane reading this. And Gustavo, yeah, you're not fooling anybody. Like, oh yes, we should just have open borders and let everybody in. And no, you don't want that. Everybody's sitting here pressing for a future that they don't want. I can guarantee it. So with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss a like. Dislike, go ahead. Do that too. I ain't scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share because sharing is caring. And YouTube, BitChute, I can't depend on them for but so much. And speak. Let me know, what do you think in the comments? Do you think they have any kind of right to be asking for anything? Shouldn't they just be grateful for the fact that, hey, yeah, you're here? The current governor has declared a sanctuary state, which will not be the case in a couple of years. I can guarantee you that. So, I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and until the next one.